Hello, today I have four measure phrases for you that at the end of each 4-bar phrase is going to incorporate a drum fill that's going to use different rudiments. Okay, so if you look at the end of the first 4 measures, you're going to see the last 2 beats. You're going to see a quarter note and then 2 16th notes and an 8th note. The 2 16th notes are preceded by a couple little notes. In that combination, we have a drag or lesson 25 to be specific. So you have, and then we're going to go to the floor tom on the and of 4. Now the reason I'm pointing this out is because those little notes, the drag, are not necessary. Okay, so you almost want to practice the fill a few times without them. In other words, I'm just looking at the last 2 beats of that first 4 measure phrase. You have beat 3 up here on the high tom, and then I'm skipping the drag and playing 4 E and, right? So 3 and 4 and. That is perfectly fine. You do not need the drag, okay? If you want to add it in, certainly that's going to allow you to have a little more touch, a little more finesse, and maybe make your fills a little more interesting, especially if you can incorporate them on the fly. So I'm going to play the fill once without the drag, and then the next time through I'm going to play it with the drag in the 4 measure phrase. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so obviously I went to the crash cymbal at the end of the fill the second time, and that's probably a good habit to get into. These fills sort of set up transitions in the song, right? So if you're going from, say, the verse of the song to the chorus, or the chorus to the bridge, or whatever, very often you're going to accompany that fill with some sort of a crash. And one thing to note when you're playing a fill and you have to get back into the beat, which is really the big picture here, making sure you do all these things without interrupting the flow of time between the beat and the fill and then back to the beat. But another little thing to note is that if you play a fill and you don't get back to the hi-hat on beat 1 or the and of 1 even, it's not the end of the world. So don't panic about that. So if I played 3, 4, and didn't get back to the hi-hat until beat 2, notice how you don't really notice that. I'll do a little demonstration. 3 and 1. Okay, I didn't actually make contact with the hi-hat until beat 2, but I put the bass drum in there on 1, and no one's going to notice. So don't worry about that too much. Okay, let's look at the next 4 measure phrase. At the end of the 4 measures, we have another fill. It's almost the same as the other one. We're going to eliminate the drag and the flam, so we're just going to have 2 8th notes, 2 16th notes, and an 8th note. So the fill without the drag and the flam is going to be 3 and 3. Okay, 3. Okay, again, I'll go through the 4 measure phrase twice, once without the drag and the flam, and once where I add it back in. Okay, here we go. Okay, and it's probably not a bad idea to run through the fill a few times. So without the ornaments and then with them, it's probably more beneficial to run through it with the ornaments, so you could even do it kind of slow. Okay, and then one thing to watch out for would be for the flam, to make sure you don't get flat flams. In other words, where both sticks land on the drum at the same time. Makes a really weird sound, and it also feels kind of weird. Doesn't sound too wonderful. Okay, next one, again skipping ahead to the last 2 beats of the phrase, we have some 16th notes, and we're going to incorporate the bass drum a little bit on the fill now. So forgetting about the accent and the flams themselves, just the rhythm that we have is 3E and a 4E. So okay, with flams and the accent. Do that again. So we have that accent on a weird beat, and this is the rudiment called a flamacue. Okay, same thing, 2 times through. And the last 4-measure phrase, we're going to incorporate all 16th notes, so 3 E and a 4 E and a. But we're going to put the bass drum on the E of 4. It sounds more complicated than it is because it's really just a paradiddle. Okay? Right, left, right, left, 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 right, left. But instead of going to the right hand on that 4th beat, or the E of 4, we're going to replace the right hand with the right foot. So, okay, do that one more time. All right, now we have a little bit of orchestration there where we're going to deal with putting the high tom on the first right, and then the second set of rights we're going to go to the floor tom. So, okay, and we stay on the snare drum for beat 4. Okay, this one you could play just. This would be kind of weird to do without the stickings and still make it sound right. But if you wanted to just totally do it on the snare drum, that would be perfectly fine. Okay, I'll do that the first time, and then the second time I'll move it around with the paradiddle and the bass drum. Okay, here we go, twice through. Okay, and again, probably focusing on just the fill out of context a few times wouldn't be a bad idea. Anyway, hope you have fun with these. Thanks for watching.